No, oh, hey, ra, 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 ra. Oh, oh, hey, ra, 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 ra.
Wow, that's Paresh Pahuja with us in our studio, who's hitting the right notes with his music. He's not just a singer and a songwriter, but also an actor. Welcome to India today.
Thank you, Dipali.
Let me begin with your concert first. It's a 6 city tour. Where did the concept come from? And it has been an overwhelming year for you.
It has been an overwhelming year for me. Last 6 months have been so dreamy and magical. I'm still just like we were discussing off camera. How does it feel? I still don't know how it feels. I have not had the time to. The concert idea, I just wanted to get on stage and perform. That was the whole point because I love stage. मैंने last college में किया हुआ था, but after that I completely lost touch with that feeling of being in theater and being a part of a play or concert. So after all these years, I'm like, I want to get on stage. I called up a few musician friends who had worked with on Bandish Bandits, and we started jamming. And there was no concept, there was nothing. We just wanted to do something together, and it kept on evolving. And one day, it just came to me, and I thought I should call it the Voice Notes concert, and so that's what it is now. And it's not just a concert. There's a story, there's poetry, and there is music.
Well, that we all can see in the videos that are going viral. Talk to me about your journey so far because, I was reading you're a Sindhi, right? From Ahmedabad to Mumbai. How has it been for you? Was acting and singing always a thing for you from the beginning? You wanted to do that?
There are two answers to that. One is a very professional answer because the world only finds out when you professionally do these things, right? But these things start way earlier in your childhood. For me, that's how it started. I mean, I used to sing, I used to act, not professionally, but ऐसे ही, चलते फिरते, घूमते घूमते. I used to ask for cassettes. I used to ask for musical instruments. मिलते नहीं थे, वो अलग बात है. But it was always there. The love for music and movies was always there. It actually, when I was in school in 10th class, when I probably found out that I can actually sing, because people used to request me in the free period, free classes, कि भाई गाना गा ले. And then you realize कि हाँ, maybe there is something that I can do in this zone. But again, nothing. The idea of life was to just do your education, post graduation, get a job. And that's what I was chasing. And wo karte karte, I landed up in Bombay. I tried very hard to come to Delhi. I wanted to go to a college here in Delhi, जहाँ मुझे admission नहीं मिला.
Where did you want to get admitted?
IIMC.
IIMC.
Yeah.
You wanted to become a journalist?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, really?
Yeah. If that had
Would have worked
happened,
out for you.
I would be interviewing you probably.
Yes, absolutely.
I would love it.
But how did you bag your first role with Salman Khan?
Yeah.
How did that land up for you?
A lot of things in my life have been about magic, actually, I would say. मुझे लगता था पहले कि everything you try very hard intentionally, none of those things were working out for me. Wanted to be a cricketer, वो नहीं हुआ. I wanted to go to a certain college. I wanted to go abroad to study. Nothing was working out. So I surrendered. One day I just surrendered to some higher power saying कि आप देख लो जो भी है. I'm not gonna worry about this so much. So let me just flow. Let's see what happens. And that's how I landed up in Mumbai. And that's how I got my first job. That's how I got my first ad because my flatmates were casting assistants. And that's how I got my first feature film because after doing a few ads, I was sitting at a cafe. And this casting director of Yash Raj Films was sitting in front of me and she's like, would you like to audition for a film? I said, yeah, why not? Shanu, yeah. And it was actually as like कहते हैं ना कि reality is stranger than fiction, वो वैसा है कि वो dots ऐसे connect होते हैं कि समझ नहीं आता.
But were you ever disheartened कि ऐसे दिन आए हैं where you were like upset कि चीजें aren't things working
Of
for
course,
you?
of course. That happens. That still happens.
How do you deal with that?
You you don't deal with that actually. You deal with that on your own. You don't like. Sometimes what happens is that resentment translates into your close, friends, family. आप उन पे नाराज हो जाते हो, उन पे चिल्लाने लगते हो. So the best way for me to deal with that is to journal about it. I just put everything down in my diary. Um so that whatever I'm feeling is it's in there, because I know everything that you feel, everything you're going through is not permanent. It's there
It shall
only.
pass.
It will pass. It will pass.
Yeah.
Bhai. So that's how I look at it.
Do you believe in manifestation?
Oh, big time, big time.
Yeah.
100%.
Anything that you'd like to manifest now after all of the things that you've achieved? Is there something that you still want to manifest this year?
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so many things. I have a huge list of things that I want to manifest. This year, I would love to manifest a feature film with one of my favorite directors, which is Imtiaz Ali, Raju Hirani sir, Zoya Akhtar. Um, yeah, yeah.
I see a lot of, like, when you sing, I see a lot of feelings within you.
Yeah.
If you could just, say a few lines of your song, Dura Duro. There is this t-shirt also you got made. इश्क सोच के कीता तो की कीता.
Correct.
वो आप लाइन जरा पहले.
It's a very beautiful poetry by Bulle Shah, Baba Bulle Shah. It says कि कहंदे ज़हर वेख के पीता ते की पीता, इश्क सोच के कीता ते की कीता, दिल दे के दिल लैण दी आस रखी वे बुलिया, जे तूने प्यार भी लालच नाल कीता ते की कीता.
तो की कीता, yeah. लालच नाल कीता तो की कीता. Talk to me about your definition of love.
I think this is the closest I've ever come to uh, believing a definition of love. Because I was also looking for the right definition of love. कि क्या होता है? But I think it's this. It's giving. It's giving without any expectation in return, because that giving is also for you. Because you're feeling good by giving that love to somebody. How a mother feels great by loving a child. Similarly, if you just associate love with that feeling of giving, and genuinely not expecting anything in return, A, you'll not be disappointed, and B, it'll not be transactional. It'll be just a beautiful feeling that you're living with. It's a state of mind that you're living in. And I think romance is a great state of mind to live in. I'm always
But
living
do
in
you
that
think
state of mind.
it's all easy? Like it's easier said than done. This
course,
is what
of
that
course.
people say. But do you think to implement all of this when you're in love,
Yeah.
is it easier?
It's not easy at all. It's not easy. It's because you want a lot in return, and the intensity of that keeps changing every day, because what was enough on the first day will not be enough on the second day,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. And as the relationship progresses, you want to make sure you are constantly, you know, constantly growing in it. तो वो तो है, काम है. It's a lot of work. It's not as romantic as poetry. It's not as dreamy all the time. There will be tough days where you'll have to hold the fort. There'll be days when your partner has to hold the fort. So वो तो सब है.
Have you had a heartbreak?
Many.
Yeah, many.
Many.
What's a
Many.
deal breaker for Paresh?
Value system. Now that I think about it more, compatibility, just an overall, like I have 3 checklists or 3 things that I see. One is how that person treats other people, how that person treats themselves, and how that person treats me. That's all. Just these 3 things.
And red flags, the qualities you're not looking for in a person.
The red flags is actually not in the other person. The red flags are for me when I realize that I'm feeling this way is a big red flag for me. Because if you feel very restless, anxious, and those kind of things, then that's the biggest red flag for me. Ke, oh, this is something that's activating my survival mode, and I don't think this is good for me. And yeah, that's how I protect myself. Most cases I don't. I end up getting heartbroken. But now I know. Now I've done it so many times that I know that feeling is a red flag.
And if Paresh had to choose between singing, songwriting, and acting,
Yeah.
one thing, what would that be? Your heart lies in which one?
It'll be storytelling. It'll
Storytelling.
be storytelling because that is essentially what I love doing, and that's what all of us do, right? As artists, um, be it an author, writer, singer, director, musician, we are all telling stories and stories because we connect through stories. We don't just tell stories for the sake of telling stories, but that's how we connect. कि मेरे साथ भी हुआ है, and then you're like, हाँ ये मेरे साथ भी हुआ है, and then that just makes this human experience a lot more bearable. This just makes the human experience a lot more tolerable, and that's what we are all looking for. That relief, कि we are not alone. That's why we love stories.
Absolutely. Talking about storytelling, let's also get into your acting sphere. How did you land Bandish Bandits?
Yeah.
And also, if you could tell us something about it, anecdotes that we don't know, probably.
Oh, about Bandish Bandits. I think Bandish Bandits have spoken so much about that show, but still, that show, the kind of love and visibility that show has given me, it's
Absolutely.
incredible.
It's incredible.
I've waited for something like that for all my life. Like I had this one belief, you asked me earlier, how do you deal with tough days? Just this one belief I had कि एक दिन कोई ऐसा रोल होगा जो सिर्फ मेरे लिए लिखा होगा. Like nobody else will be able to play that role better than me. And Mahi turned out to be that for me. And that just proved my belief right, that you just have to believe कि वो एक चीज आपके लिए आएगी. And that's what I tell all my actor friends also कि एक स्क्रिप्ट तो ऐसी आएगी दुनिया में और कोई नहीं कर पाएगा, सिर्फ तुम कर पाओगे. And that just keeps us going.
Tandav?
Tandav happened because I had worked with Ali sir on Tiger Zinda Hai.
Yes.
And we had a great working relationship. We had a great time. Like our tuning on set in Tiger was so good कि उनके बोलने से पहले ही मैं समझ जाता था, या मुझे कुछ करना होता था तो वो करने देते थे. So it was such a respectful relationship, and when he was making Tandav, he called me. I auditioned for it and I got it, and then he called me again for Jogi. So we did 3 projects back to back.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And what about Operation Valentine? There's this
yeah.
one video that I saw of you and your friends and your family. They were all whistling
Yeah.
around after the. I think it was a screening or something.
Screen तो नहीं था, मैं ले गया था सबको, थिएटर ले गया था, तो कैसे बढ़िया.
वो जो response मिला आपको, उसके बाद जो आपको response मिला, what was that about?
Operation Valentine, it was. It was a Telugu film, my Telugu debut, supposed to be. And the film, for whatever reasons, of course, didn't do as well as we had thought. But what made it very special for me was this response from friends and family. So
Absolutely.
I
think that's the validation,
that's
right?
Validation. Not just validation, but celebration.
How would you, measure success? Like
that
something
was,
like that?
Yeah, for sure. The success is not very far away. It's within this range of people,
around
friends
you.
and family.
People who are really close to you,
Absolutely.
what you get out of them.
Absolutely, yeah. For me, it's always been that, and I think the real measure of success, I think for me, it will always be that. कि मेरे घर वाले खुश हैं, मेरे दोस्त खुश हैं, and they are so brutally honest also about everything. In that screening also, after that video that you saw, some of them actually came to me and said कि भाई देख, फिल्म तो ठीक ठाक ही लगी हमको.
They were being honest, right? Off screen, yes.
कुछ ज्यादा ही honest है. पर तूने अच्छा काम किया. मैं अच्छा ठीक है.
नहीं होता है. I think being modest about everything is also a reality check that your family and your friends can give, right? But looking back, at your own journey, do you think there are regrets that you feel that you have? Any sort of, like, I was reading somewhere that you probably were a little this thing about your debut film. I mean, when you did Tiger Zinda Hai, you thought that you would wanted to do a main lead, right?
Yeah.
So, is there any regret in your life that you still have?
See, there can't be regrets when you think about it in retrospect, because regrets are only when there was something in your control and you didn't do it. In my case, I've been extremely hardworking, so I don't have any regrets from my side कि मैंने किसी चीज में कमी रखी है. I've loved every day of living in Mumbai. I've loved every day of being an actor, singer, and there was this inner knowing कि वो एक दिन आएगा when there will be something, some magic will happen. And it is happening. It is happening right now, and it will continue to happen. I know that deep down. And that belief, even if it may sound delusional sometimes to people around you, it's important. For an artist, it's very important to hold on to that optimism. And optimism and regrets cannot go together. So no, actually no regrets. No.
Cool. I think that's the way you live. You live
Yeah.
your life. Coming back to your musical journey,
Angie.
what's the process of making a song, like from writing to execution?
Right. It actually starts with voice notes from me, which is why the concert, one of the reasons is called
And I
Voice
would
Notes
also want
Concert.
to know why you've kept that name, Voice
Yeah.
Notes. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful title.
Thank you. One of the main reasons was because I always record any melody that comes to me in a voice note, and I send it to my, people who I work with, Shiv, Siddhant, Vayu, ki I have this melody, please write something and give it back. And then they write something and send another voice note सामने से. So ऐसे करके we exchange a lot of voice notes, and that's how the songs are made. And so the first step for me is a melody, then lyrics, and then we have music production, which is adding all that arrangement, piano, guitar, drums, and all of that. So yeah, then we get into
And
mixing
how
and
much
stuff.
time does it take to, bring out one particular song? Could be any.
It could happen in a day sometimes. When the energies are right and people are available and free, it could happen in a day. Or it could take months and it'll still not sound correct. So it totally changes, like dramatically. There are songs that we are still working on. It's been a year कि चल ही रहे हैं. On the other hand, Duro Duro we made in 20 minutes. 20 minutes to 30
minutes?
minutes. Yeah, the whole song was ready.
And it
the
didn't
music
even take
production.
20 seconds to go viral.
No, it took 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah. We released the main version. It was released 2 years ago.
Really? But Instagram, like, it blew like your song into something that was
Yeah.
released just now.
It was the live version that.
Live version,
Yeah,
yes. I
yeah.
think that was
the concert version that picked up, and which is why people went back to the original version and played that. But
Wow.
it did take a lot of time.
Lot of time.
And we were quite heartbroken also at that time because it didn't do as well as we thought. Because we
Back
really,
then.
कि
Yeah.
हमने बहुत प्यार से उसका म्यूजिक वीडियो बनाया था, कश्मीर में शूट किया था.
But do you also believe that 2 साल पहले शायद सोशल मीडिया का इतना बूम नहीं था जितना अब आ गया है, and that is why probably it has picked up and
Probably.
because of the concert combined.
I think मुझे सोशल मीडिया का तो नहीं पता है, पर मुझे लगता है कि आपकी लाइफ में चीजें तभी होती हैं जब आप रेडी होते हो. Probably 2 years ago I was not ready to kind of have this kind of response and dive into music with a full heart like I am doing now. 2 साल पहले I was still juggling between many things, and so probably it didn't happen for the right reasons. And now when it happened, I was ready. I was ready with the whole concert, with the whole tour, with everything. So I think वो चीजें आपके साथ तभी होती हैं जब आप emotionally, mentally, spiritually उस चीज के लिए aligned होते हैं, ready होते हैं. So I'm okay. It could be because of social media, it could be because of whatever reasons, but those reasons are better not known to me.
Do you think being relevant on social media is important also? No.
I think
No.
being relevant, the best way to be relevant is to be really authentic from wherever you are or जैसे हैं आप. That's the best story you can tell. That's the first story you'll tell to people.
How much time did it take for you to make Botala and Mascara?
मस्कारा तो वायु ने लिखा.
हाँ.
बोतला took us about, I would say, 2 weeks because we were trying to crack the right lyrics for it. We had some other drafts of lyrics. We had some other words going on, and then finally, when we stumbled upon these words, we knew it was just right. Yeah, it just felt correct. Shiv and I both like jumped on our seats and we're like, yes, we got something.
Like I am also like I tried looking for your concert tickets and it's all sold out. Did you ever anticipate that sort of response?
No. I mean, it was a dream, of course, because जब बाकी लोगों के concerts हो रहे थे and I was trying to get tickets and I was not getting it and it was sold out. It was very frustrating. But deep down, I was also thinking कि यार, would it happen to me if I ever do a concert? Will I get sold out? इतने सारे लोग आएंगे and very, very beautifully when we announced the concert from day one to now, we are sold out in most cities.
I'm sure it takes an army to
Oh
bring
yeah,
a
yeah,
concert
yeah,
like that.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's why it's called Paresh Pahuja and Friends, because everybody who's working on it is a friend, and everybody is bringing not just. And that's why the whole energy, right? It's not just it's just a good-looking reel or anything. It's actually a lot of soul that everybody has put into it. कि वो जो couch पे जो cushion रखा हुआ है, वो भी घर से आया है. उस पे scarf है, वो मेरी friend का है. वो जो फुट स्टूल है वो किसी फ्रेंड का है. पौधा कोई और अपने घर से लेके आया है. सो इट्स एवरीबॉडीज एनर्जी दैट इज ब्रॉट दिस टुगेदर.
And voice notes title कैसे आया?
वॉइस नोट्स टाइटल आया बिकॉज आई लव सेंडिंग वॉइस नोट्स. आई कांट टाइप. मुझे लगता है कि इफ यू टाइप यू लूज दैट एसेंस. And that was also a mode of communication between me and a certain person and all my friends and my mom in the morning. So I'm like, and then we weaved in a story in these all songs. मैंने कहा सिर्फ गाने one after another, that's a usual concert. How can I make my concert different? So I said, what else do I know? I know cinema, storytelling. Let's weave that into it.
Yeah.
And that's how that story, we kind of put that into, this concert, and that became voice notes. The device of telling that story was through voice notes. That's why it
I
became
love the
voice
name.
notes.
If given a chance to go global with your concert, which all countries would you pick?
Absolutely. I would love to kick off the international tour, which we will very soon, with Australia, New Zealand first.
Wow.
We come back and do Singapore, Dubai. We do some UK, Europe. And then we ended with the US and South America.
Is there a reason why you picked Australia and New Zealand first and then the rest of the countries?
मैंने geographically सोचा ऐसे करके ऐसे जाएंगे दुनिया.
Really?
हाँ, I've thought about it. मेरे vision board पे लिखा हुआ है ये सब.
Wow.
My vision
You
board,
have a vision board
I have
at
a
home?
very detailed vision board. So all this I just told you, even my management doesn't know this, but it's on my vision board with dates, with countries के पहले यहाँ जाएंगे फिर यहाँ जाएंगे. ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया यहाँ है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया न्यूजीलैंड करके आप वापस आते हो. सिंगापुर रास्ते में पड़ता है. You can do Singapore, Asia. You can
Quite
do,
a planning.
yeah. Then you go a little towards UK and Europe.
Yeah.
And then you finish the tour in the US.
Wow.
And South America. So पूरा सोच के रखा है.
That's a great plan, man.
Yeah.
But all the best for all your future concerts and this concert.
Thank you.
And wish you all the best for all your future projects.
Thank you, Dipali.
Thank you so much. That was a lovely chat. Well, you have a well-planned, chatted, for your future concerts. All the best for everything, for your projects, for your musical journey. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up, one song for all our viewers.
कौन सा गाऊं? बोतल मैं खाली कर कर थकिया तेरे आगे नशा हो रखी ठोकरा मैं खाई फिर भी नहीं रुकया इश्क दा ऐ मजा हो रखी ऐ गलती थी मेरी ਐਵੇਂ ਸੁਪਨਾ ਚ ਮੈਂ ਉੜ ਗਿਆ ਦਿਲ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਦਿਲ ਜਾਣੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਗਲੀਆਂ ਚ ਐ ਮੁੜ ਗਿਆ ਤੇਰਾ ਤੋਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੈ ਠਿਕਾਣਾ ਰੱਬ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਭਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਹੋਰ ਜੀ
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Dipali.
you.